We're talking about the upcoming AI Business Summit. I'm so excited for this summit, not only because I'm loving AI, I'm using it in my business every day, and my business says every day, but also because I'm not even speaking at this one, you guys. I reached out to all of my favorite people who are doing things in AI and asked them to come and teach us. So I'm more excited to learn than anything else. And one of those people that we're going to be learning from is Neil here. Welcome, Neil. Please tell everybody a little bit about you and how you got started with AI.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Amy. I'm really excited because this is not only a trending topic, but I think there's a lot of opportunity both in the past and the future to look at what we can do with it. But in simple terms, I mean, I've been online since 2000, well, actually around 2099 maybe. In terms of myself, I left my corporate gig in 2007. I've been in the high-tech mobile gas industry as well as e-com, and predominantly in the last 10 years, I've been really focused on building e-com acquisitions, exits, mergers, and brands. So I'm very focused. And in the aspect of AI, I'm now deploying or have actually deployed AI many times over in the last decade and in different ways. And there's fun ways that it's really starting to create mass adoption, which I think is cool to see some of this stuff coming. And most recently, I'm having a lot of fun playing with Midjourney, conceptualizing images, product development ideas, business images for marketing, from all kinds of different things. And so I'm excited to tell you a little bit about some of the things I've been playing with and some of the stuff we're going to be implementing into our business.
That is so awesome. And during the summit, you're going to be a panelist for one of our very first day one panels, where we're going to be talking about revolutionizing new business and product initiatives with AI.
Yeah.
And I know you're already talking about how you're implementing it across all of your businesses. But what are you excited to share with the audience in terms of, integrating it and using it in new ways in your businesses?
Yeah, I think it's practical to look at it from a standpoint of existing business per se, because I think a lot of people here are going to be business oriented and focused, or they're wanting to get into a business oriented focus. So for that reason, it's applicable to so many different industry types that I want to talk a little bit about the different ways you could utilize that in your specific business. It doesn't have to be just in e-commerce. It could be in marketing or development, lead generation, coaching, and consulting. There are a number of ways AI is going to make efficiencies, down to just simple ways to create 5-minute videos that are literally your voice video scripted and pushed out the door in 5 minutes. They can create a certain flow, put them into reels, put them into marketing. You don't need 5 people in 3 weeks to do it anymore. And I'm just fascinated by the different ways we can implement those things across the business. And some of that stuff I'll share with you guys.
I love that. I have really even used it to start some new businesses lately, some new initiatives within my existing businesses. And I'm so surprised at how fast it's really sped up my processes. Like,
Yes.
what used to take me weeks to do, such as building this AI summit. I was able to build the whole AI summit in an afternoon, utilizing all of these different tools, from speaker agreements, thinking about legal contracts and agreements, to the marketing plan, including social media posts, hashtags, emojis, video scripts for different TikTok reels that I'm working on. Love that feature. TikTok posts, the overall schedule, the titles, the topics, the descriptions. Everything was done with AI. And it was just such an incredible thing. And I was able to pass that off to my team, and they were able to just make it even better. So on that note, what are you finding are the best tips for, a lot of people get stuck. They're trying out AI, they're trying things out, and, you put something into ChatGPT, for example, and you're like, this isn't aligned with my business at all. This isn't the right marketing plan. I don't know what to do here. What do you recommend for people? What are some tips?
Well, it is a shiny object right now. And with any shiny object, you have to look at what's the real use, what's the real world use of that, right? And it's the same kind of acronym I borrow for everything I do in each of my businesses, and that's the team acronym, right? What's the time, energy, attention, and money focus of my purpose for doing this? If it's applicable to something I can enhance in a business I'm starting, whether it's the marketing or lead or the graphics or images or the copywriting or other aspects of intelligence you can pull down with the AI, or if I'm putting it into product and resource development and listing optimizations, another thing on the e-com side, then it's going to be kind of appropriate to understand, what time and energy and attention should I spend on these things. I will tell you that if you look at the 59,000 tools that are showing up so fast, it's ridiculous. You could spend $8 100 times on each of these systems before you realize maybe I shouldn't be using them all. But that's like any learning curve. You're going to dive in quite a bit and try to figure out what to do. I think it's just appropriate to kind of stay in your lane a little bit, stay focused on the intent of what you're doing, and then just try to glean the right information for that right objective, right? Similar to any kind of objective and use case. If I'm going to do it for marketing, then I should stay focused on, the marketing aspect of the copy, and I should stay focused on the, asset aspect of it, whether it's an image or a graphic or a video, and then learn how to kind of deploy that into your business, maybe even your existing standard operating procedures, your SOPs. But don't go so far that you spend 10 hours a day just playing with it and not doing anything, because that could be dangerous too. So all things said, I think if I was a single guy right now and I was back in my 20s and this was available right now, I'd probably be spending 20 hours a day just building up so many different levels of opportunities that I just don't have the time to do right now, because there is so much information, so much to do, and literally so much money to be made in the opportunity that AI now presents in a variety of ways. I'm sure speakers and panelists will be talking about during this summit. You guys are maybe going to get a little bit of information overload like a fire hose, so be careful to what you take. Just try to get gold, nuggets out of what you take and try to apply it to your daily tasks and weekly tasks, and just don't try to bite that whole elephant off at once.
Yeah, you're right. It is going to be a lot of mind-blowing information. We're going to be talking about what the future holds. We're going to be talking about real tips on how to use it every day in your business. And AI changes very, very fast. But I love what you said about actually focusing on, how much time am I spending on this? Am I just buying a bunch of shiny objects and not getting anywhere? Where I found the most helpful thing is to just dive into one tool and get used to using it. So people are going to be able to learn from you. You're giving a great speaker bonus for them. They're going to be able to get a free strategy session with you, which is going to be incredible for their business with all of your experience. That's awesome. But in terms of just a tip that they can take away today for the summit, you said you've been playing with Midjourney a lot, and I have too. I absolutely love it. One thing that I learned, kind of in line with what you said, is you really need to understand how the model that you're using learns.
Yeah.
So how does it's like garbage in, garbage out, right? The prompt matters, and we're going to get into prompting during the summit. We're going to learn all about prompt mastery and how to hone that in, because once you understand how to prompt, but before you even get into how to prompt, you have to understand how the model that you're using learns. So like ChatGPT as a language learning model. So it matters what we tell it. We can have a conversation, we can give it context, and then it gives us better information back. Correct. And with Midjourney, it also has some dials to turn. So for those people wanting to play with Midjourney, do you have a tip, Neil, for them to get started with it?
Yeah, I've got a tip, and I'll give you a bonus tip. The order in which, in any natural language model or large language model, it's the order in which you present the data that it prioritizes that data first. So for example, as you're prompting something, what you start to tell it first, then what you tell it second and third in your prompt is going to prioritize the way that it looks at the image or creates the image or data. So just a tip, if you're going to talk about something more background oriented, focused in a scenery, then put that at the beginning. If you're wanting to focus on the subject of the scenery, then put that at the beginning. So the order in which you ask the prompt to do things is the order in which it's going to take priority. So second bonus tip is there's a little switch in Midjourney. You may understand the different switches that can be tagged at the end of your prompt to get it to do certain things, like a 3x2 format or a 16:9 format, or whether you want a certain HD or resolution, or literally there's hundreds of tips. And I put one out here recently on my newsletter that showed about 100 different switch types that you can use for lighting and shading and dramatic effect and all kinds of really cool stuff. The one I'm having fun with, though, is playing with the seeds. It's a -- seed. And then you put 1 or to 100, depending upon how you want the variable of the image to come out. So if you wanted to not change a lot of variables, then you will use just 1. If you're okay with it changing more, then you put 100. Go look up that variable. It's not hard to find in Midjourney's documentation and find out why that's a powerful one for you to add on to every prompt that you put in there.
I love it. And I'll add on to your tip. One of my favorite websites for learning prompting, including Midjourney's prompting, is learnprompting.org. So you can go there. It's a free kind of tutorial. It takes you through all these different lessons, and they have one for images, and it really, really helped me understand how to talk to Midjourney. So that's a great thing that you can put on your phone. It's a great resource to have. Well, thank you so much, Neil, for being here, for speaking at the summit. We're so excited to have you and your experience and learn from you. And everyone, right now is the best time for you to get your tickets for the summit. So you can head over to amazingathome.com/AI, and you can see the schedule, you can see all of our speakers, and we have excellent early bird pricing. So definitely take advantage of that and get your tickets now before we increase the prices. You're going to get over 16 hours of time with experts, and that is going to be absolutely priceless. We've made it super affordable for you, and we can't wait to see you at this virtual summit. All right, Neil, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys all at the summit.